Beautiful boxing fans, good morning. Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga, good morning to you too, brother, because it looks like you just woke up from that violent Hamzah Sheeraz knockout. Edgar Berlanga just came out and finally spoke out about the accusations and claims that his family have been making for the last month regarding Hamzah Sheeraz. Let's read it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read what Edgar Berlanga just said. First, let me actually read you, because this is going to make a lot of sense now. Let me read you what Edgar Berlanga said a day after he lost, or like his first statement after losing. He came out and said, this was a day after the fight. This is what he said first, and then I'm going to read you the statement that he just made. He said, "Last night didn't unfold the way we trained for, prepared for, or envisioned. It was a tough loss, one that felt surreal in many ways. No excuses will be made. We take full accountability, and with that, we also take the lessons. I want to congratulate Team Sheeraz for the victory. In defeat and in victory, we remain humble no matter what." And then he started to say other stuff, but this is the most important part. Now, what did Edgar come out and say? For the first time, this is his first time talking about the controversy. He came out yesterday and said, "This past month, I've seen a lot of people talking about that suspicious hand wrap, and me, I agree 100% that left hand wrap was suspicious. I take my wins and my losses humbly. God is the greatest, always and forever King. Shout out to all my fans and supporters. I love you guys. Ain't never going to stop greatness. We be back soon." And Keith Conley actually came out and said that Edgar will be back in December. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what's crazy? Edgar actually tried to make this a religious war. My God, your God, where I'm from, where you're from, this and that. And let me tell you this. When I met Edgar Berlanga a couple of months ago in New York, the man was so humble. I actually met him and Hamzah Sheeraz in their first face-off. And you know, Edgar, I swear, the man was so humble and gracious, and he was so down to earth. I mean, the man looked like a celebrity. Jewelry all over him, million people with him. I shook his hand. I told him, you know, I'm Team Sheeraz, I'm Muslim, but after the fight, I wish you nothing but the absolute best. That is what I told him word for word. I told him, man, I have a lot of admiration and respect for you. I think Sheeraz will get this done in style, but you are amazing. Like he was so nice in person, and that is why I was so disappointed when he came out with these mind-boggling excuses. And also, after he lost, I posted a video here. You can go back and check it out. I said, hey guys, please, let's not talk trash about Edgar Berlanga. Let's support the man. The man got knocked out, but it happens. The man is a brave warrior. He's just trying to provide for his family, this and that. And then, the man hasn't stopped making excuses. First, he blamed Turkey al-Sheikh and Riyadh season. Then, he blamed Hamzah Sheeraz and Andy Lee for the hand wraps. Then he blamed religion. He started insinuating that because he's Christian, the Muslims set him up, this and that. And that was when I lost all respect for Edgar Berlanga. Listen, I've always liked Edgar Berlanga. I've always rooted for the man. And even when he fought Canelo, I knew that he had no chance in hell. But you know what? I was like, no matter what happens in the fight, you know, nobody, let's be honest, none of us expected anything from Berlanga. But even after that fight, and even his ridiculous post-fight party and festivities and like celebration, that was ridiculous. Like that was ridiculous. The man kept partying for an entire month, celebrating his moral victory over Canelo Alvarez. Which, I mean, the man didn't win a single exchange in the fight. The man didn't win a single round. But we were like, okay, no problem. Edgar, you know, God bless you. You know, like what can I say? I never wanted to have anything negative to say because I didn't have anything negative to say. But the moment you start making these ridiculous accusations that Muslims set you up because you're Christian, that Hamzah had loaded gloves, he had something in his hand wraps, he posted, and even Berlanga posted like a few weeks later a picture of Antonio Margarito's hand wraps, to like because for anyone who doesn't know, Antonio Margarito had loaded gloves when he fought Miguel Cotto, Edgar Berlanga's idol, and then Edgar Berlanga started to play the role of the victim, and that is when you lose all respect. That is when you cannot respect the man anymore. You can't. Because that shows that Edgar Berlanga, and not only is he making excuses now, but who is he going to fight for next? The man already burned bridges with Top Rank after ripping them after he left. They didn't give me any big fights. They didn't do this to me. And then you leave Eddie Hearn after he gave you 2 easy fights and a multi-million-dollar fight versus Canelo. Then you ripped him. I am the business. I'm the one who provided the opportunities, not Eddie Hearn. And then you went to Turki Al Sheikh, and now you're ripping Turki Al Sheikh. They set you up. Who's gonna? And then in the press conference, you absolutely disrespected the hell out of Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy Promotions. So literally, Edgar Berlanga has burned every single bridge when you talk about boxing promoters. Who's gonna wanna host an Edgar Berlanga event? He only has 2 options left. Marv Nation, a small company that Gabriel Rosado just fought for. If he's gonna fight Gabriel Rosado, they will probably fight for Marv Nation for the most minimal amount of money probably Edgar will ever receive in Puerto Rico versus Gabriel Rosado. And let's not forget, he's been saying that Gabriel Rosado is a bum for years. Or your second option is fighting for PBC against Plant or Charlo. But let's be honest, we don't even know when is PBC's next event. PBC, I mean, forget how many events they have left this year. We don't actually know when their next event is. So PBC are barely hosting any events now. And even when he's gonna go to PBC or Marv Nation, they're gonna lowball him. Why? Because they know that he has no leverage and no other options. So they're gonna give him a low offer because they know that he has nowhere to go. And that is a very, very tough situation for Edgar Berlanga. Now, I wish the man the best. I will never wish bad on anyone. I really wish. But the only thing that I wish is that he comes out now and debunks all these excuses and take his loss like a man, and God willing, he will get all the opportunities in the world. We want Edgar Berlanga to succeed. We want Edgar Berlanga to... we want everyone to succeed. But you can't keep accusing people of cheating you because of religions. And, I mean, if I was Hamzah Sheeraz, I would sue him. And you know why Edgar doesn't even believe his lies? Because if he actually believed what he's saying, he would sue Hamzah. Because that is literally like attempted murder, if you actually think about it. For someone to load their gloves and knock you out. But let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, Edgar Berlanga doesn't really have the best chin. And he doesn't really have the best skills. He's not the best. And that is why in the amateurs, he never really won anything. You know, he was with Shakur and all these guys in the amateurs, and Devin Haney and Gervonta. All these guys, they're from the same era in the amateurs. They all won many titles, except Berlanga. Why? Because he was never really that good. And if you actually look at his knockouts, he never ever dropped or hurt a single elite level fighter. The only two fights in his career where he was the underdog, he lost both fights and got destroyed. And he barely won a single round in both fights. The only two times where Berlanga was the underdog, he got destroyed versus Canelo and Sheeraz. Versus Canelo, he didn't win a single round. Versus Canelo, who was past his prime. Let me tell you, if Canelo was in his prime, Berlanga wouldn't last 3 rounds with Canelo. I promise you. If Canelo, who fought Golovkin the second fight, fought Berlanga, Berlanga wouldn't survive 3 rounds. He barely survived 4 rounds versus Sheeraz. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. Berlanga is extremely overrated, and the man can't seem to take his loss like a man, and it's all downhill from here. We've seen the story before. Deontay Wilder. The moment Deontay Wilder started to go to La La Land and started to become delusional and make excuses, he never won a fight at the world level. And I fear that is what's next for Edgar Berlanga. Let's just hope and pray that the man comes to his senses and shuts all these yes men around him and comes out and handles his loss like a man, and he can get better. But if he's going to stay delusional, it is over for the self-proclaimed chosen one.